You're tuned in to RX Radio.
So you just look this good at home.
No, man, just for you guys.
This is me. This is me getting dressed up. This is like Sunday's best over here.
That is your Sunday's best.
It is. This is.
You've got some heat in the closet, man. We've worked it out.
I got the double RL stuff was good. I definitely fucked with that. It's like high end Carhartt is what it looks like.
That's what I figured you'd like.
Yeah,
that's my jam.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
So talk to me. Like, what's the vibe today? What's how do these things go? I've never been on a podcast.
They're going. I think this is
No,
it.
you've been on one podcast,
My
right?
brothers. So
Yeah, your brothers.
That don't count.
I listened to it.
I just pulled up. Oh, you did? Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, dude, it was great.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would love to have you guys on there too, man. At some point. My brother is very much a better host than I am. I'm just here because I fucking love you too. So.
We appreciate you. Yeah, we're turning into like some Penn and Teller fitness thing, man. Like people are booking us for birthday parties, bar mitzvahs. Like it's a problem.
Just doing bits now.
No way. Are you traveling with him?
No, I'm just staying in Toronto.
Okay. You just vibing.
Just spending my money on bullshit.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at it. It was fucking.
Okay. Explain this. Where's the tension for the aesthetics coming from here?
Dude, you just like, you check out this shirt of some guy you've never heard of. It's like, I've never like some Supreme T-shirt for some rapper with 4 songs. And,
okay, that makes sense because the last conversation Jordan and I had, Jordan was like, I don't want like logos or anything, or any of that shit.
Which is crazy because like he's probably more a communist than me, yet he dresses like this, and I feel like I dress like a communist, and I'm like, I kind of see the other side of things.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I don't know. I think it's like the subtle flex is what we always talk about. Which is like, I don't know, I wear like a cool pair of shoes and a cool shirt.
Yeah.
And like try to like limit as many logos as possible.
It seems to me that you are more inclined to dress up for the gym, and dress up means it's like the lowest tier of dressing up. Like cool sweats, nice sneakers, dope fit, shit like that.
He does the tuck though. The biggest difference because everyone's like, yo, you guys are brothers, right? And they're like, well, fucking might as well be at this point.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the major difference between you and Killian? And this fucking guy tucks his shirt in when he trains.
Yeah, I tuck my shirt. I tuck my shirt into my track pants. I thought that was a cool thing to do. I thought cool guys tuck their shirt in.
That's very much. You might as well have the high white socks, tuck the trousers.
He does 100%.
I do. Yeah,
that's the look.
Okay, so we dress the same for the gym.
100. Yeah, when you posted like your gym fit that one day, I was like, that's me.
Sometimes I think when I do post that, I'm like, all right, I'm speaking more to Killian, but Jordan's just probably like, God damn it.
Oh, he was frustrated for sure.
I fuck with everything. The pictures you put up yesterday were dope.
Oh, we got to get you. I want to get you two in like a real like photo shoot, like on some moody shit. Everyone takes the same fitness photos.
Yeah.
I would love to see you guys on some fucking cool lighting. Just
because everything about that was you.
What's up?
Like the look, the fit, like the edit, the color match, like the angle, like that was like, I even said like, yo, this is so you. Like that whole shoot was sick.
It's the photographer too, man. Like I'm fucking shy and nervous and fucking anxious all the time. So if it's the photographer's money, I just vibe, dude. Otherwise, I'll look like a stiff board.
Do you put like effort? Like I don't want to say effort, but do you ever just throw on gray sweats and a gray sweater and go out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
For sure. I got like a whole like dresser just for the gym.
Okay.
Like it's like gray tech fleece sweats, like Levi's sweater, Nike sweat, shit like that, but nothing too flashy. Like I won't pull up to the gym in like no offense, Killian, in like a Supreme tee or some shit like that. And I would if I had the bread, I would do it.
It's fair.
Really? See, that's I don't know. Like for me, someone quoted it like every flex should be a subtle flex.
I love that.
Yeah.
The gym for me is different because like I'm still trying to explore like because of you two actually, I'm less inclined to dress up for the gym, and it's more subtle now as it was back in the day where I'm putting on bullshit.
What do you mean?
I'm putting on like 15 Barbell Brigade apparel. I'm putting like super training shirt. Like that. That's all gone. It's just subtle colors now.
Yes.
I'll throw on some small shit. Other than that, if it wasn't for y'all, I'd still be dressing like an asshole in the gym and my back would still be hurting.
Well, yo, if it wasn't for you, I know I'd still be dressing like so. You know how me and Wes first got hooked up, right?
He made the suit for your wedding.
So he made the suit for my wedding out in Australia, 2016.
Yep. Yeah. We didn't even know. I didn't even know it was you.
So it was Trep, Dan, from Articles of Style. Trep grew up in Bell River, Ontario, which is like so laughably hick. Like if you have all your teeth in BR, overdressed. And here comes Handsome, balling his way out of BR. Was it Columbia?
Yeah, I went to Columbia, man.
Went to Columbia out of Bell River, Ontario.
Big flex, Columbia.
Dude, yeah,
Dan
right.
actually signed the contract for his basketball scholarship the day they took him to Manhattan. Like they hit him with the tourist shit. Like, hey, Times Square, this, that. And he's the kid, like you said, from Pickville. So he just dotted the line. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're right. Because Dan was was homies with Luke.
Oh, okay.
So him and my training partner, like my fucking big brother guy, taught me how to train. They were homies, and I remember way back in the before it was AOS, it was
Style Blogger, bro.
Style Blogger, the TSB.
Yeah, that's right.
And Luke was doing fitness fashion stuff for Dan when he was starting out, and it was like he had just said Luke like just wear whatever. It's like you couldn't do that. Like Luke dresses worse than me.
Yeah.
So I remember reading this article on the Style Blogger, and they used to have this like wardrobe builder.
Yeah.
Where it's like, where are you going? Like, are you going out on a date? Are you going out on like, is it a business? Is it casual? And it just kind of like filtered out all your options.
Amazing.
Well, it was amazing because I mean, I owned none of the clothes, but there were literally times where I was like, I have a job interview, or I had to interview to go to school or something. And I would click through like, okay, I just need to go to the store and get something that looks like this. And that was my first introduction into, and that was pre even going there for my suit.
Yeah.
Those would have been 2014.
Yeah. That's when we had the Style Guide.
Yeah. And I remember going through that. And that was like my first, we grew up in the same town. Like we don't, Trep was probably the only person to come out of Southwestern Ontario that ever thought about fashion, at least from Windsor.
Oh, yeah.
And then from there, made my suit. And then you reached out because I did a video with Omar.
Yeah. And I was like, wait the fuck a minute. I know this dude. Like, I seen this dude's face. I said, fuck it. Let me just email this guy and say, thank you. Like, you're dope. And you emailed me back, man. So I'll always remember that. Because that's love, you know.
Crazy.
You could have just been like, who the fuck is this guy?
I was stoked, man. Like to me, because that's like, because you're from Brooklyn.
I grew up in the LES, but now living in Brooklyn, fuck, I mean, yeah.
So this like that's so it was so gangster to me. I was like, this like Taylor from BK is like fucking messaging me. I couldn't believe it, bro. I was like, I'm just because I knew Omar from Windsor. Yeah, Omar was the dude that used to eat cheese in between his sets at the University of Windsor gym. So I was like, nothing. Oh yeah, dude. I remember him and Bobby Tran. Bobby like knew his shit around the gym. He worked at the university gym, and I was there before Omar left to pursue his career on the internet.
Yep.
And Omar was trying to bulk, and I was like, is this guy for real? And I'm not talking like G strings. The guy had like a fucking charcuterie board. Like it looks like a nice brie. It'd be like,
that would be Omar, man.
Yeah. So he reached out for me, and I was like, man, that's so cool that this guy's so legit. He's like a Taylor and BK, and I'm with the cheese guy on YouTube. And then that was 3-4 years ago now.
Yeah, 3-4 years ago, man. I remember sending that email. Like I probably redid that email a couple times because I just wanted it to land, you know. I wanted you to know, like, oh shit, like you're doing your thing, man. I fuck with you. And you know, you buying something out of your own pocket to support us means a lot. So I appreciate forever, man, that you reached back out to me.
Oh no, it was cool, man. Because now it's like I don't make a move without you now.
Thank you, man. By the way, you know, it's funny that you say that because that shit is hard to get people to listen to you, and the fact that you do that with me is the world, bro. Like,
well, how did you get into this, man? Like, because I feel like your fashion now is so constrained. Like, you can't dress bad because you don't buy bad clothes, and that's what I'm starting to learn.
You know, what's funny, man? Like in the beginning, when I first got on, it was like 2010, 2011. I was 19, right? And we were going to this party, and I put on these clothes, and I remember being in the crib like, this is trash. I had corduroy Vans on, some Ralph Lauren jeans, an outlet shirt from Double RL or RL, right, rather. And I remember just being there like, yo, no one is gonna fuck with me. No one's gonna take me seriously. So it was a product of insecurity of me trying to dress better. You know?
Interesting.
So I found Dan. I just started going through the articles left and right every day for like a year and a half. And then he put up, hey, I got an internship. And first thing in the morning, boom, 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 sent some photos. He didn't hire me that summer. He was like, yo, your photos are trash. And I said, okay. And I called him again. I said, yo, good looking. Thank you for the opportunity. And mind you, like, I was also on the fence about school too. So I said, hey, man, thank you. If you ever need me, just hit me up. And he word for word said, what the fuck are you talking about? You have a job. I said, oh, okay. No problem. So from then on, man, it just became family, dude. But again, in the beginning, I always tell people this. I'm very honest about it. Like, me trying to dress better was all about, one, getting girls, and two, trying to feel better about myself. And now that those two things are done, my style is way better because I just don't give a shit.
I feel like that's me with fitness.
I was just gonna
It's
say,
both
like,
of you.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, that statement mirrors so much what we always talk about is like the hidden realities of why people train, right? Because people will come up with all these deep esoteric meanings to what they do. It's like, dude, get laid, get laid.
That's it.
You know what I mean? It's like, and if you can like have fun while if you can make that process, getting paid and getting laid, as easy as possible, then like why wouldn't you find a way to do it?
That's a fact, man. And yeah, that's it. Here we are, man. You're looking to me for style advice. You guys have fucking fixed my body. You know,
Yeah, man.
Killian's got me fucking eating 3,500 calories a day.
Yeah, still looking jacked.
Do you have like milestones? Like, because to me, like to go from someone looking in the mirror going like, "Yo, this ain't gonna work. I'm not closing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not closing tail. I'm not closing deals. What are we putting together here?" To like, in New York, I feel like that's such an accelerant for your career. Like,
Yeah.
in the fashion world, I mean, I don't know much. Like, I would imagine, I don't know, Italy, Paris, New York. Like, these are probably LA. These are probably serious hubs. Like, I feel like you don't just dip a toe into this thing if you're doing it in a city like New York. Like, what were a few moments where you're like, "Yo, I'm doing this"?
Let's see. I remember there was one time Dan asked me, but mind you, he was in LA. He left, so I had to take this job at a bespoke shop. I was apprenticing there, and I was learning a lot more about, fitting and shit. But I remember Dan hit me up. He was like, "Yo, there's an event in New York that we can't make it to. Do you want to represent the brand?" I said, "All right, what's the event?" He goes, "It's Nike." I was like, "What? Nike?" And I remember pulling up to the Nike spot. It was this cool basketball like event, and they had you in a classroom, like the desks, chalkboard. There was a teacher in full uniform, and I was in there. Like, it was cool. I was like, "Okay, this is fire." They ended the segment, and the back of the chalkboard lifted up into this whole display basketball court. I said, "Oh, I'm here. I'm fucking here." Mingling. It's those little moments that changed my life, where it's like, you don't have to be insecure about yourself. Clothes don't mean shit. You got here because you got here. You work hard. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I just started mingling. I came back to work like 5 hours late. They gave me a whole goodie bag. I was in there like mingling. I almost forgot I had a job.
That's legit.
That's hilarious.
But it's
That's
usually
so
the
sick.
events. You go to an event. I'm not good with events because I just want to back then, I just wanted to get hammered and party. The blog was cool. I just wanted to vibe, make connections. So we go to events. They're like, "Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh, where's the drinks at? Where the girls at?" But I was always grateful for those moments, man. Like, especially now that you asked me, looking back, I'm like, fuck. I'm glad I took a second to appreciate it. Albeit maybe I was a little drunk for each of those.
Yeah, but that makes it you. I think
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of gets like lost in the everything needs to be a fairy tale. It's like, dude, how it happened, it's exactly how it was supposed to happen.
Exactly.
Man. It is what it is, man. Y'all watch the fight last night? Are you guys MMA guys?
Dude, I'm in bed by 9 o'clock
I
these
feel you,
days.
bro. Y'all both pretty good with that shit.
Adesanya got work though, from what I heard.
He got Adesanya put up a good fight, but that dude is just a beast. The other dude, whatever I can't pronounce his fucking name, but he's a monster, man.
How is it then, like, because I know a lot of you, like, a Trep's background and starting up with, was it the Knicks?
No, for what, basketball?
But like, no, for fashion, because like I'm always interested, because now like there's this thing I've noticed, like I don't know, I'm around more and more football players lately, and NFL players want to be rappers, and rappers want to be NFL players.
It's basketball too. Synonymous.
Yeah. So like, how do you? Because I don't know how to comprehend the fashion that I'm dealing with. So like a month ago, I was in the same room as Cam Newton, and I was trying to dissect like, does this guy look like an idiot, or is this fashion like forward? Like, how do you? I don't know.
This is a conversation I definitely want to have.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like, Cam can't dress. That's just
okay.
So, on the record, good.
From a professional.
That's no hate. There's Cam. I like the way Cam carries himself. Super confident. Dude works hard. All of that aside, it's to show out, just to show out.
Give me Wes. I don't want to cut you off. Give me your 5 worst dressed athletes.
Michael Jordan,
Oh, easily.
early Russell Westbrook,
Yeah. Okay.
early. Now he's fine. Cam is up there.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, who's the other two I was thinking about today? Early LeBron was pretty bad.
Yeah.
He'd wear a vest and jeans. He'd look like a bartender. Not my favorite, man. Not my favorite. And then if I had to pick one more, who I wish dressed really well was Tiger. Like Tiger never put it together.
No.
Like if Tiger had the swag on the field, but if he had just
I think there's something about golfers like wearing the pants that you have to pull up at the knee to bend down. Like there's that thing about like jingling the pant leg.
Yeah.
They always wear pants that are a little bit too loose. They're just fitted wrong, so when they bend down, they do that jiggle and then they bend over. It's like Tiger always dressed off the green the same way. Like, dude, you don't need to pick up balls.
I think
you're good, man.
Yeah, like
well, I think for that it just comes out of our earlier conversation. It's like dude's rocking the red on Sunday. He's clearing checks. He's got the GM money coming in. He's getting paid. He's getting laid. Fuck it.
yeah.
How
I guess
bad
he doesn't
can
care.
you dress?
And then
That's
Michael.
what happens. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and like you brought up Michael first. I'm so glad you said that because to see a brand like Jordan Brand be so synonymous with fashion for decades, but Jordan with like the backwards Kangol and like
Yeah.
the oversized pleated slacks.
There
I
was
don't get it,
moments
man.
like Mike would get it. You know, there was cool shit like early 90s. Mike would have like the matching shirt, shorts, cool, like olive nines, glasses. He'd be like, "Oh, Mike looks cool." And then you see this shit like he showed up to the game. I said, "Damn, my Men's Warehouse Mike is not my favorite, man, and never will
Yeah.
be." There's a picture of Mike. Sorry, I mean,
No, go.
Mike in a green suit, the best looking suit he's ever. It went around the internet like last week. Best suit he's ever worn, and the meme is like everyone in the background is clapping because he finally put on a good suit, and I just fucking
That's so
lost it,
funny.
man.
That's so funny.
But yeah,
So-
to your point, Cam.
No.
But so here's the thing: like when I met him, he had like this fucking. He
The
looked
big
like
hat?
straight out of the Outback. He was doing the I Am Athlete podcast with Brandon.
Yeah, big hat on.
Big hat on. He had like the gold wireframe aviators. But it's like because he's just a cool guy. I was like, yo, this is fucking Cam Newton. He's cool. But it's so I don't know what if like because I don't know enough about it to anchor. Like my knowledge in fashion isn't anchored deep enough to be like. I could never call it, yo, this guy's dressed like trash. Like, but you could sit there and just be like, yo, no, because like, what is it about athletes that they're missing? What is it that they don't get? Because they can, I feel like with their status, they just put anything on. You know, they throw on the fucking Patek Philippe or the AP. They put a bunch of unnecessary bracelets on. They wear the fucking kangaroo jack hat, and all of a sudden they think they're doing fashion.
Well, like I always say, you know, money can't buy taste, and that's worldwide, baby. Like that's everything. In the gym, outside, if you're an athlete, don't matter. And sometimes what happens is like those guys don't come from money, right? They're like there's a deeper conversation to talk about where it's like me too. Like I didn't have cash like that growing up. So to me, growing up, like I was like, oh, Rockaware, Nietzsche, Nike, Jordan. And as I got older, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I could spend my money on other shit that'll last me a longer time. So there's like an education factor there where it's like trying to understand the value of something like hiring a coach instead of a trainer, you know, hiring me instead of just some Joe Schmo who works with like athletes and shit like that, just trying to plug myself.
Yeah, well, no, because it's a weird relationship, right? Because when I need like style advice, he's my guy.
Yeah, don't go to
he's
me.
my guy. So no, I don't. Like I wouldn't know where to go. I don't know where to go to buy this guy clothes. Like if I get him clothes, like other than a Cuban link chain in Miami, I don't know what the fuck to get this guy anymore. Like, but I go to you, and then you go to him, and then I don't know. I go to you for shit. You come to me for shit.
Yeah, I feel like it's funny. Like Jordan goes to you for fashion, like goes to Wes for fashion advice. Wes comes to me for training advice, and I go to both of you for confirmation of the bad ideas I've already decided on. I ask advice of no one, but like, yo, Wes, check this outfit out. And Wes isn't going to diss me. And then I ask you something, and you're like, I couldn't care either way. I'm like, well, at least no one's a hater.
But like, because here's the thing: everyone listening to this is in desperate need of style advice.
Oh,
because they've been getting it probably.
From you.
Yeah, the plaid has made a comeback in a way. I've done more for plaid than like Downy paper towels in the last 5 years.
Still be on that shit, man.
Right? Might as well. I gotta get royalties for this, but like, they know how the coaching business works, right?
Yeah.
Like Killian and I have a ton of clients online in the coaching space. they don't know how the consulting business works, and then working with you, it's such a similar process.
Yeah.
And there's so many like similarities in the, or like comparisons or lateralities. It's like, oh, okay, just like I need to get to know a client's background, like an injury history. You ask questions about me that I had no idea, had any idea like that this had an effect on the way I dress.
Yeah.
So like, what's the process when you like start to work with someone in a consulting? Because the thing is, there's sometimes, and I've noticed this with the way you work, where everyone looks different, but there are exercises that I like that I just fucking make people do. I was just like, I'm a big fan of this, so you're gonna do it.
That's what I do with clothes.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm so far removed that when I see the different looks, it's like, I mean, when I dress the way you tell me to, I look different than him and I look different than you, where it's like, if I would write a program for two, like you guys, it might look more similar than you sort of dishing out like fashion advice, or like, yo, buy this piece with this piece with this piece. Like, what's the process? Where do you go? Because I know the fitness side, but I don't know how to consult for literally anything else.
That's a good question. I think the easiest way to answer this is I usually ask guys, and I've asked you this, like, what are the 5 things you wear the most? And what are the 5 things you don't fucking wear the most? And it really does help me, because I'm so visual with everything. And it's all about, oh God, I hate to say this.
Do it.
It's all about feel, man, for me. Honestly, it is just
so important.
Yeah, I get that.
It just feels like, if it feels good, and I know I have this genuine feeling that you're going to enjoy this particular piece or this direction or this aesthetic, I'm going to guide you that way. But also along the way, I'm going to sprinkle me on there the whole time. You might not even know it. Like, all the shit that I recommended you in that doc, I'll probably wear it a different way for sure. But I know if I enjoy it, you might enjoy it just as much, maybe even more. Like the double RL shit, I'd buy that. All that stuff you bought, I definitely get it. But in regards to process, it's, you know what's interesting? Like, the way you guys program, it's methodical, right? Me, it's like, it's so, I don't want to say there's an art to it, because there's an art to what you guys do. I think it's a little bit different on my end. So yeah, all about feel, man.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a creative element to it that, like, at the end of the day, man, and we laugh about this all the time because we go deep on shit, and then we just laugh and go, it's all reps and sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you never were to tell me that from back in the day, I would have just been like, I'd have been hammering books, thinking about how much time I gotta rest, what percentage I gotta do on this bullshit. But you know, I remember you said it in the shop. You're like, yo, it's just reps and sets. And it's funny. I remember this. I admire both of you. Here, like right here. You know, I got a lot of love for y'all. And I remember Jordan came to the shop, first time we ever hung out. And I was telling him, he was about to leave. I was like, yo, like, I might miss this set. Or I said something like, I might not do this workout or something. He looked at me, he goes, okay. And I was like, oh, all right, well, bet. You know, I was taking it so seriously, but when you had said it's just reps and sets, and it's not going to matter. Because, you know, like, I'm working hard. You miss one. So I'll never forget that, man.
Well, I think that's where it meets in the middle, man. Because the more science you go, like, the more it just becomes feel. Like, when me and this guy train, like, every now and then we might be like, well, we did this exercise, so like, let's not do this and this. But it's like, because it's almost in the same way that like you might constrain your style based off your wardrobe. And that's something like, I don't buy a lot of clothes, but what I do, and that's why I consult with you. So it's like, I know that every time I like get rid of a piece and I bring some new shit in, it's like, now I can't dress. I can't, because I still have old shit that I wear pre-West. But it's like, it's harder and harder for me to dress poorly. Because the wardrobe makes sense now. And like, oh, like I got black jeans. Guy was at me for like, he's like, yo, I can't with these black jeans. Stretchy barbell jeans you wear, bro. Like, you got to get a real pair of black jeans. Now I got black jeans. And they fucking, when I throw on black jeans, it's like, oh, fuck, I'm dressing good. Like, I went out for coffee the other day with my girl, and she's like, oh, what are you getting all fancy for? And I was like, I just put clothes on that were in my closet. Yeah. Just the clothes in my closet now, because I've been told by an adult what to wear. Now it's harder to fuck up. And it's like with us, when we train, like, it's almost like you science it to an art, where it's like, you know, you can look at color palettes and swatches and tones and fabrics and patterns. And then all of a sudden it's just like, yo, that with that. I still remember one of the articles I read, and I tried to emulate it when I was in grad school. And it was like pattern matching. Yeah. About like using small dots with big checks and shit. Yeah. I ended up just looking like Krusty the Clown. But but it's cool though to see, like, because it is something that when I look at it at first glance, it's like, oh, this is all just a creative endeavor. but then there is like
very much so.
a lot of theoretical behind it. But then we both kind of meet in the middle. When you do it well enough for long enough and give a shit enough, you're like, oh no, it's just feel.
I think it's that thing like where objectivity makes room for subjectivity, right? It's like you're saying, it's like if you only have good clothes in your closet, you could basically get dressed with your eyes closed. You're not going to come out looking that dumb.
You took the word dumb off.
Yeah, and it's like that just works out so well on both sides, right? Like people message me and they're like, "What's the best shortened lat extra?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know, just go train, man." Like they're like, "Well, what do you do when you go to the gym?" I was like, "I hardly even think, man. I just do one exercise." I'm like, "This must be the next. This must be the next." But I think it's because you've thought about it for so long, and I think, you know, part of it plays into that, like objectivity breeds subjectivity, and the other way is the idea of, like you said, Wes, like it's feel, and I think part of it's confidence.
Yeah.
Like I wear a bunch of dumb shit sometimes, but I think there's some level of like the confidence in wearing dumb shit. Like R.I.P. Shia LaBeouf canceled, but like you look at this guy's style, and it's like if those clothes were on a different person, no one's gonna rate it.
Nope.
Like the same black ripped jeans with the same military boots that he wore 3 years ago, he's still wearing with a different ripped red crew neck sweater, but you're like, his outfit is so fire.
Yep. Yep.
And I think it's the confidence to walk out like that, right? And I think it's the same thing with the gym. Like I did that 180-pound dumbbell row that was so bullshit.
Loved it.
But it's like the confidence. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna send it on this. I put it on the internet. No one hated it. It's like you went for it.
Yeah. So that was fun.
I think just people are afraid to step up and step out and just like expose themselves or something, like, and because us, we choose, right? Like people tell we work out when we go in public, but fashion is such a statement.
Yeah.
Like when I walked out of that room and Cam was dressed like fucking Crocodile Dundee, I was like, this guy's sending a message. Now I can't decode the message, and apparently the message read trash across Wes's dashboard.
Yeah.
But it's like that's an everyday thing, man.
I know, man. And to Killian's point, you can be confident, but there's a thin line, baby.
Yeah.
It's a thin line, you know. That hat, the big hat, the glasses. Like Cam he's a grown ass man. He's an adult. Just come clean, baby. You could wear the green suit, you know. Just you don't need the other extra shit because you look fly anyways, man. That's it.
And living in New York, is it hard to rein some of these guys in? Like if they want to go big on everything, like they want to go, like they have to make a statement. Like their whole life is in the limelight. Have you ever like I don't want to pick on Cam because I'm probably gonna run into him next week and get the shit kicked out of me.
I bet.
Oh, he's vegan now.
Oh, you could tell him. Come see me. I'll help him out. Tell him.
I gotta get through. I can't read past his fucking captions the way he does, like the dollar signs for the S's and stuff. But he's different, which is like that's all part of the brand and the image.
Yeah,
but,
he's part of it.
Because like I struggle sometimes because I gotta step up and tell some of these guys what to do. Do you struggle like when you got like I can imagine fucking finance bigwig executives, like you're dealing with people with a lot of money?
No, I tell straight up.
Actually,
I'm like, that's just trash.
I love that.
Have you ever had a point like where you've had like a very intimidating client, whether status or wealth, and you've been like, yo, bro, this is not it. The whole pop collar thing, you bring that out to the shore. Like, don't bring that down my doorstep.
I always use this reference, man. I had this guy. He's a big lawyer in here in New York. Like he dropped, I say about 20, 30K his first appointment. This was when I was at the other spot, and he was asking me about like contrast buttonholes, like on the jacket, right? This shit on the jacket. And I told him one time, I said, okay, and I say this to every guy that wants that. I said, okay, listen, I had a guy in here, he got a brown suit. He wanted all the buttonholes green. I'm not talking about just the one. He wanted them all green. I wasn't working with him. It wasn't me. But he wanted them all green. So my boy at the time, he was like, all right, you could go get it. 6 months later, he come up to me, he goes, yo, Wes, I need help. I said, okay, what you need help with? I don't have any shirts to match this fucking brown suit with the green thread. Oh, you don't? No wonder. No wonder. So that's also in part to my friend. That's my friend's fault. He should have just been like, no. He wanted the sale more so than the client like relationship. And that's what you guys do really well too, by the way. You're good at working with people. But
yeah. Well, that's because to me that's always the long play, right? Like that's a long game, delayed gratification play. Where you're gonna tell people what they want to hear, not what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. But like that's a slow burn. Is like, you know, it's sticking to your guns, and like green buttonholes on brown is always trash.
And I always say, listen, we want you to be happy, but at the end of the day, we got to make sure you look good. So
yeah, it's like we don't want fat clients. I don't want a fat client.
No, I don't
word.
Word. Well, it's like if they start fat, that's fine. But it's like, I
Better
clients that
finish,
get
Jack.
fat. It's like, yo, I can't work with you anymore. I think that exclusion criteria, like that protects the art, that protects the feel. Where everyone else is like, if it's too objective, then you classify success objectively as well, and that's just money. And it's like, if you classify like success subjectively, like, yo, my clients look good, whether that's our clients, you know, lifting and getting stronger and improving body composition, or you being like, yo, Killian's whatever the fucking t-shirt that is and the pink shoes, my boys figured it out.
Got it. You
I
guys own style. That's all that matters.
Well, and that's the thing too, like it becomes, and we've noticed this, like I can never shave my beard now.
No, you can't.
Because it's the brand.
No.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing, like style is so elusive to me and I don't get it. But because I'm trying to imagine if I wore that.
Dude, please don't imagine that.
What would you do if I rocked up
God.
with like the purple on purple,
Dude,
like
I'd be
early
out.
90s
No.
flow? Like he looks like the fourth member of Boys to Men.
Dude, he's got
appreciate that.
He's got the same hat on. He's got the same hat on. Arsenio Hall walks out the store and come to America. And
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. I bought this shirt because there's a Tupac shirt I've always wanted. I'm gonna show you a picture right now. I've been looking for a shirt like this for mad long. Tupac had this like dope ass. There's a photo of Tupac with a backpack on, and he had this denim shirt. Only Tupac. Carl and I made this shirt. Look at this shit.
Okay.
And I
Dude.
always want one, so that's why I bought this shit.
So that was the muse.
All of my like style inspirations are like musicians and anything like that. Some actors, but
Yeah, well, like dig into that, man, because like I can't go to the mall without watching people walk and be like, oh man, this guy's gonna have some serious issues. Like, but also times I go to the gym, like, oh, like that's a pretty neat idea. I wonder if he knows why he's doing that the way he is. But, like, where do you get the inspiration to like put on the purple on? But you got Purple Rain as the color muse today. Like, where does it hit you everywhere? Or you got to go to work? Like, are you always kind of looking?
it's always just again musicians. Like if I had to pick three, it's Marvin Gaye, Tupac, and then to go a different industry, James Dean.
okay.
That's it, honestly. And then it's strange. Like no one really ever actually asked me to like quantify the style. Like where do you get this from? Where do you get that from? I'm just lucky to have the experience of fucking up early, which I'm sure you both will appreciate.
Oh, this is like our story just repeated by somebody else.
Yeah. Working in tailoring, which kind of refined everything. Like, hey, these are the proportions you need for this kind of body, that kind of body, and then now getting let loose after that was money. So I wish I could put in better words.
How do you deal with like the runway stuff? Like, because this is where I don't get fashion.
Like,
right?
you're talking about high fashion?
Well, but the word doesn't make sense because what I'm seeing, like, I'm looking at this Purple Rain number, going, yeah, absolutely. If I had Wes's swag, I would knock that out. Like, I would 100%. But I can't, man.
Yeah,
I would get picked up on like pedophilia charges if I rocked that. I'd be not allowed around schools or like parks or shit.
It's funny. I was looking at a website yesterday. It was like a bunch of really cool stuff. Fuck, if I can remember the name, the designer, Amy.
Leon Dior.
Yeah. So I was on that website, and it's like, man, some of those clothes look so cool. But when I look at the model, I'm like, yo, this dude is not 5'8", 190. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, I put that shit on, it's not gonna work for me, man.
I can't. Like, I don't know. So for me, like the subtle flex. The thing is, I grew up like Jay's Red. Grew up in like a kind of a ghetto neighborhood, and it's like you had Jay's, you had money. Yeah. And it's like once I kind of knew what Off-White was, I was like, all right, I'll just not know anything about fashion, and I'll just buy Off-White J's, and that'll be my subtle flex. Then I went on the Off-White website once, and it's like I usually just pick them up on like stock. Dude, yeah, because I'm not some androgynous Senegalese guy, which is like all of their models. I'm like, oh, this is what. So fashion isn't for me. That's what I thought. I was like, all right, as a 6'2", 265 male, fashion isn't for me because I'm not this like. Maybe it's a guy, maybe it's a girl. They're definitely from Senegal. Like that's what fashion is. And like, where do you draw the line? Because some of this stuff is like they're leaked from the Zoolander collection.
There's not a lot of space for you guys, man. Straight up.
No.
You know, like when Killian, I remember when I asked Killian to train me, he was like, I don't know if there are going to be pants to fit big quads. And in my head, I was like, I don't give a fuck. You know, I was just like, I was trying to get better. But that being said, listen, man, when it comes to high fashion, I don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Because the cycle of high fashion is fucked up for the environment. Straight, like They just bring new shit, right? This season is whatever, fall, winter, 2022, off-white. And then they're going to reproduce all that shit. Most of it won't sell. People who make it don't get paid. The way they make the clothes will destroy the environment. And then at the end of the day, no one wins because the resale price is so high. The people who can actually afford it don't really buy it. And then the people who really want it, like the homies I know, are going to kill themselves to buy it. I don't touch high fashion, man. Like if you look at my closet, it's all thrifted and tailoring.
Yeah.
One of those is only lucky because I'm lucky because I have a job. Otherwise, I'd be here. It'd smell like mothballs in my closet because it's all from the thrift shop.
Yeah.
That's it. And I just go to the tailor. But to your point, man, high fashion is, I don't touch it unless someone asks me. They're like, hey, I want to rock some Off-White. I want to put some LV. And I'll tell them, I'm like, are you sure? You could spend your cash, you could split it 2 different ways and you get flyer shit. And some people will be like, nah, I want the LV, or I want the Givenchy, I want the Balenciaga. Okay, do your thing.
Yeah, I would imagine New York, man. Like the
Oh,
trip, that's what it's about, right?
I mean, growing up here, I would literally get dressed to go to Soho and just hang out.
Yeah.
I would just be there like graphic tee, dunks, jeans, and a hat, looking like an asshole. I should be at work doing something productive. But that's what it was. And it's still used. People still do that. Like people actively get dressed to go to Soho in hopes that a street photographer is going to take and blow them up, blow the Instagram up.
Actually.
Oh, dude, that's a huge thing. Like in Toronto, there's a neighborhood called Kensington Market, and Kensington it's not Soho at all, but it's the exact same vibe, man. It's like the lowest, grungiest neighborhood of Toronto. Like shout out Kensington, I love the place, obviously, but it's also people hanging out in like the grungiest place, like wearing Supreme, and it's like, what are you doing here? And they're just hoping. And you go into thrift stores there, and they've got like a Dennis Rodman shirt from like '98, and they're trying to sell it to you for like $280, and you're like, dude, this is an old T-shirt. What is happening here? Yeah, thrifting's gone insane now.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm usually just on eBay, or I'll go thrifting early during the weekday so I don't avoid everybody, because it's my fucking therapy, man.
To me, it's getting, I don't know, it's starting to seem very generic, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially, and I'm gonna bring it back to fitness, because there's new money in fitness.
Yeah,
right. There's kids making schmills a month who like just grew up in gym clothes, and then they're like, I saw Larry Wheels, classic example. Larry posted a picture up in like the Dubai airport with his missus, and he had some tapered joints on, like capris, and like a 7X Balenciaga shirt, and I'm like, this guy looks like the evil dude from Despicable Me. He's got these tapered he's got this Balenciaga car cover, and it's just like, it's because Larry's, I don't know, probably pulling a couple hundred G's a month.
Yeah,
and it's just something, because there's this weird superimposition, because like you said, it's not really meant for us. Like when we go on these high fashion sites, it's like it is the androgynous looking Senegalese guy, maybe girl, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, but it's super expensive and I make money and I want people to know I'm making money, so I'm just gonna buy it. Right. So it's like, it just seems so generic. It's like everyone's going like Dior, LV.
Yeah.
They like, I know it's your jam, but it's not my jam. Like the watch game.
dude, it's not even my jam. I think it's cool, but like I can't drop that money on it. I tried, man. Like 2 months ago, I tried to buy a Rolly. I tried so hard.
Oh, I can't.
Trying to get
do the
sub?
watch thing, bro.
All right, go. Because like I got friends who are in it, like about it.
Dude, I'll never forget it. There was this guy I used to work with. He pulled up to the bespoke shop, had cash. All he did was collect watches. Your man had a replica of Neil Armstrong's watch on the sales floor. And I was just looking at it, I was like, word? Like I'm never gonna understand it. I'm also not a car guy, you know. And the menswear community, like I don't try to associate myself with menswear. It's such a niche community. I'm just like fashion. I love fashion.
That's you with fitness. You don't try to associate yourself with fitness.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm here for the paycheck.
I'm a tourist to fitness, though.
Yeah.
I'm also a tourist to fashion. Like I don't claim to know anything. Like I like it. Like I love, like I used to, back in the beginning of like Instagram and prior to like Sartorialist, like I used to follow that all the time. And like I love street photography, and like I'm a huge fan of like late 80s, 90s, like France. Like, you know, the movie La Haine?
Yeah.
With Vincent Cassel. So like
classic,
that vibe.
baby.
Yeah, dude, that movie like just came out to resurgence again with like Reebok and Carhartt reiterating like all the clothes out of that movie. But that's like, that is fashion to me. Like that's what I know as fashion is like
I
Lahane.
love that. Yeah.
Like
That's
that
fashion.
Carhartt, yeah, the Carhartt jacket with like the stupid beanie toque that you hate.
That's timeless
You know what I mean?
shit. That's timeless
Yeah.
shit. You're not gonna look at a picture of Cam Newton and be like, 20 years from now, and be like,
No.
damn, dude, that guy
No.
was fly.
Yeah.
No.
He looks like a fish. Yo, I talk to this guy so much on Instagram that the sponsored ads they send me are like Ja Rule cameo shit, and this the fisherman wharf hat that doesn't cover the ear. I was like, yo, I need a few days off. I gotta have the algorithm like flush in some new protein powder ads or some shit.
But I think
go ahead.
yeah. No, go ahead, Wes.
No, you straight. Go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think part of that, like you were saying, like, you don't try and associate with the menswear community, and like I think you have this more like interesting outlook on what is and what isn't. And I think it's the same thing with me with fitness. Like you don't buy into high fashion and Balenciaga and Off-White and LV.
You know,
and it's like with me with fitness, it's like my thing is always like I don't know who my contemporaries are.
Right.
Like I don't know what the high fashion of fit. I don't know what high fitness is. I don't know who any of these names are sometimes that people mention to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same way as I look at Lahane for the influence on how I dress. I look at like Paula Quinn, and I don't remember anybody after Paula Quinn. I literally, I'm not being rude when I talk to people, but I'm like, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, you're being honest. That's all.
Well, because I think it just comes down to a culture thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. Like you said earlier, like money can't buy you style, or no, money can't buy you
Taste.
Yeah. Like for me, it just because like I use fitness as just a conduit into culture. Because like I travel so much that it's on, and this is gonna sound like a little like ethereal coming from a meathead, but like one of my favorite things is just to go to gyms to see what this is like in other places. Yeah. Right. Like I have such a breadth of experience. Like there's a bespoke, not bespoke's probably the wrong word in this context, but there's like a really nice boutique gym. It was the one in Lebanon that got blown up last August. And it was like everything's matted, like walnut finish, like chrome matte black polish, really nice, well put together. Shit. Yeah. And then in the corner, there's this stone. It's like this giant red cinder block. And I'm like, I go to the Hodge, Nick Antalki, the guy who owns it. I was like, yo, Hodge, like, you got this place decked out wall to wall, fucking everything, even the dumbbells, like straight off the boat, the Watson ones, like everything is very like aesthetically pleasing. And he got this fucking spray painted red cinder block. And he goes to tell me this story that in like the foothills and the mountains of Lebanon, that there's still this thing. It's like a rite of passage that if you're going to marry someone's daughter and they all live on like these farms, you have to be able to pick this up and put it over your head. I'm like, that's fitness to me.
Oh, shit.
Right? Like, I feel like my thing with fit, I was talking to someone else the other day, is I want to be like the Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
It's just like,
that's dope.
Parts unknown. It's like, I love traveling. Like when I was in Singapore, when I was in Hong Kong,
by the way.
dude, the GOAT, man. Like that show, if you haven't seen it, Parts Unknown, because, and I mean, I travel a lot. I have a lot more travel coming up. And like that to me, when I look at fitness as an art, I think it's a cultural thing. And when I'm hear you talk about fashion now, I kind of see that because, you know, the APs or the Rollies or the Balenciaga or the whatever, it's like that's like as like whenever I try and explain America to people in overseas, because I live in the States world, I'm like, look, baseball isn't culture. Yeah. Hot dogs aren't culture. Nah. Budweiser isn't culture. Nah. And it's like now it's like Rolly, AP, Balenciaga, all that fashion stuff. Like that's not culture. Right. So when I see you hear you guys talk about fashion and like hear about like your influences in art, that for me, what I like about fitness is my conduit into culture. Yeah. Because it's like, what does it mean to people in different places?
You're not a one note dude. Neither you are, you know, end of the day. Like you're not just going to be known for fitness, you know, you're good with people, man. Both of y'all, you know, at the end, and then your process. I mean, being well traveled, dude, with fitness, you can't beat that, man. Like that's a good life, brother. Like I that's what I'm trying to get, you know, I'm trying to get to the point where this whole style thing, if it comes to fruition, which I hope it will, where I'm out and about helping motherfuckers get dressed. That's it.
And I think that's what people resonate with is like, because we deal with so many coaches who try to get into like the consulting side of things. And it's like, dude, it has to be at a certain point. Like, yes, it is reps and sets, but what do those reps and sets represent? Yeah. Like to someone else, what is this allowing them to do better? Mm-hmm. And it's like that, I think when you go at it from, because it almost like, I know, because you're talking to us, you said like, I don't want to word it this way, but I'm so glad you did. When you said like, yo, it's off feel. Yeah. It's like, I think that's exactly how you wanted to word it. Yeah. Like, I don't think there should be apprehension about that. Like, that's literally the whole point is like, I just want to be an experience junkie. Like, I just want to like you just want to feel something. And I know it's weird talking to you because you're a fucking crazy ass nihilist, but like,
yeah, that's true. But I think just saying like it goes off feel like that at that point is a sign of mastery. It's like, yo, Anthony Bourdain wasn't pulling out the recipe book. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Anthony Bourdain, like, and I'm just going to name drop like people, obviously, that people see and they're not the best chefs, but like even Matty Matheson, like shout out Toronto. Dude.
Love Matty, man.
Yeah. Matty Death Row's the homie. Style's crazy.
Love him.
I remember when I was like 19 going to this bar in Toronto called Parts and Labor, and they had a basement, and it was Matty's birthday, and he used to be the chef upstairs. And it was his birthday, and this famous band, Cancer Bats, put together another band just for him called Sex Tears. And he did the vocals, but he came out of the kitchen in his fucking chef outfit and just screamed into a microphone for like 30 minutes and went back upstairs to work. And I was like, dude, this guy's crazy. And I was like super into it after that. But like when you look at these guys, like, dude, Matty has that, like, has so many cooking shows where he just throws a bunch of stuff together and it's always fire.
So natural.
And it's like, and that's feel though. It's like, again, like your objectivity is like something you need. Like you need to know how to fit someone with a measuring tape. Like you need to know what measurements to take, how fabric stretches, how it feels. And that's that idea of like skill acquisition and art, right? It's like if you feel tweed so many times and then you take someone's fitting and they're like, they want tweed or something else. You're like, I know what the fitting is going to be based on the fabric because you've done it a million times. If you have to pull out a recipe book and it's objective, you're never going to be a chef. You know what I mean? Like I can make a sheet pan dinner 5 days a week. I'm not a chef.
Sounds like my meal prep.
Yeah, that's my whole life. You know what I mean? And I think the same thing goes with like putting together clothing that works. And for some people, you have the bandwidth and you have the time. Like you said, you benefited from fucking up early. And that's like me and Shallow. Like we've done this for so long. Like we benefited from fucking up early. But there are people at some point in their lives where them walking out of the house and not looking like a clown, they don't have the bandwidth to trial and error that. Yeah. Like they got to call you. Like that's the same thing with me. Like there are things that I do in my life that I cannot expend the bandwidth to get good at, like making food. I have a meal prep service. I don't cook my own damn food. I pay someone else's ass to do it.
Bougie, this kid. He's got the pink joints, and all of a sudden, it's someone else is cooking his food.
But like, I don't have the bandwidth to fuck that up.
Right.
So it's like these people do that good. Dude, drop it off at the door.
Yeah.
If someone's gonna go out to a job interview, if someone's gonna like try and move in the status play of this industry, not the money play, but the status play, and they don't have the time to know like off-white everything is not a flex. Like you want to have an off-white wallet, go ahead. You want to have an off-white outfit, dude, check yourself. Then it's like that's when they need to call you, right? And I think like that's where people may not realize the benefit of like having a coach, having someone that knows how to dress you.
Well, and that's the thing, coaches, it's like because you start your process the same way I start mine. You play the man.
Yeah.
Right? Like I had to sit down with a guy the other day in his gym. Like he's pro athlete, wants to come back to the league. Guys, I don't know, he'll probably sign a 1 year, $3 million.
Nice.
And we're talking about like his potential comeback or whatever. This guy comes up to, we're in Florida. This guy comes up to with his cell phone, like, oh, hey man. And like while we're talking, and he's on a tight schedule, I'm on a tight schedule. This guy's like, do you want to see a video of me catching a croc or an alligator with my daughter? And I was like, so he like goes there. It's like, oh no, that was a picture. Oh, where'd it go? I know I sent it to my brother. Goes through WhatsApp to his brother, finds the video, and it's just. And I'm watching this guy show this athlete who like owns a gym, he owns a clothing brand, and we're wasting 5 minutes of our meeting because Florida man is showing his unqualified ass grabbing an alligator by the tail. And I was like, look, and it was like an initial consultation. I was like, yo, man, like you can't, if we're working together, this can't happen. You need 3-point men. You need someone for the business. You need someone for the podcast. You need someone for the apparel. And then I come in and then I do the training and diet. That's it. You can't have fucking, Florida man, father of the year coming in with his alligator wrangling stories. You can't be this accessible. Your time is money. Like this is why like bougie pink shoes over here gets his fucking food delivered because he's too busy being that for someone else. He's the chef who's cooking up the workouts for people, and they're like, okay, I need to talk to this guy. It is more efficient for me to pick up the phone and call him than to try and do it myself. And with fashion, it's the same. I could sit online until my bandwidth, both internally and my ISP, just gave out. And I'd probably do what Killian said. I'm just going to buy the whole out or off-white jumpsuit. Or I could just pick up the phone and talk to you and be like, okay, this is still worth my time. Because it's like I get fashion, culture, concentrate, and then I get a list and go, yo, I think this would be good. And it's like, okay, done. I can go worry about the shit that I actually have to worry about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for all of the, and I don't want to make this a gender thing, but for all the dudes on this who listen to this fucking podcast and try and dress
They're
cool,
the worst.
but
Y'all know it. Y'all know you're the worst.
I mean,
Well,
I was hoping we'd get into this.
Yeah, like, and I hope Wes will agree with me on this, but like, dude, a cool chick will not tell you if you show up dressed like an idiot.
No.
Because she'll just never talk to you again.
No.
Yeah.
Like, you won't know when you fucked up.
And you low-key don't want to be with somebody that's just on your dick about how you dress all the time.
You also don't want that.
Right. But you maybe also don't want a chick that settles for like your grubby, ripped jean. Like, I've made some serious strides in my relationships thanks to this guy.
Yeah, dude, I do not doubt.
Like with Wes, it's 10s or better. That's you. That's you. You put that. No, that's the assist. You got the assist on those, homie. But it's like, dude, I never realized how much that mattered. Because it's like I just put my head down for 10 years and just kept my head in a gym or in a book. And then I looked up and I was like, man, I'm just getting ghosted.
Some people don't think about it, man. And I'll say like a lot of the dudes who are really fit and they're fucking jacked, they're strong, they just can't dress for shit.
But reverse it. Because I know a lot of fashion guys like, yo, that's cool. Wes would approve that. But guess what? Yeah, you're getting a little sloppy around the midsection there. I'm kind of seeing the green buttonholes on the brown jacket, it's like
real shit.
It's a man. It's that classic thing, right? Is it the man that makes the clothes, or the clothes that makes the man? It's like, I think, why not work on both?
It's a little bit of both. You took the words out of my mouth. A little bit of both. I mean, I remember one of the first things Jordan asked me about. He's like, "How do you feel about like all these guys in fitness that wear like super tight sweatpants and like super tight hoodies?" I was just like, I get it, man. You're brolic, but like, it just ain't gonna work out, man. The clothes gonna rip, Is it more so like they just want to show off like the result of their training, or is it?
See, I don't know. Like, and it's funny. Like, this goes back to like Wes. You said like you didn't grow up with money. None of us grew up with money. I didn't grow up with money, and I wasn't very big. And I remember like up until like whenever I graduated high school or so I remember my first job I went right to the mall and bought brand new clothes because I'd never had brand new clothes, and I like bought a pair of Levi 501s. I was like, I'm pretty much the coolest guy in my high school now. And like rolled the cuff up, and I was like, dude, no one can touch this outfit with like the white dirty Vans. I was like, this is it for me. But it's like, I remember going to like the thrift store, and like, I was never a big dude, but it's like, you go to the thrift store, you get a size large t-shirt. That's the most common size of t-shirt. It's a large. So I just remember always wearing these like large black t-shirts, and like, I was a skinny dude. And that's kind of how I came about things. And then listening to like hardcore music when I was young, I'd buy like shirts from all these hardcore bands. So you just buy large because they're like, like what? I just get a large, I guess, because they only printed large, these fucking cheap bands. I get a zine and a large t-shirt. I'm like, this is it for me. And it's like, and my camo cargo pants and the Air Max. Like, that was the vibe.
That's the early streetwear shit.
Yeah, luckily that died, but and not with me, obviously. But yeah, I think like to that same degree, it's like, is it about just being jacked and then you wear just like tighter and tighter clothes? I don't know. Like, I don't know where that came from.
I think it's not having that extra dimension, though, right? Like,
you don't have that layer to your, to your.
There's no French movies. There's no world travel.
Well,
like,
there you go, culture, man. At the end of the day,
and that, I guess, that goes back to culture. Yeah.
I think you're just gonna double down on where you get that feeling from, and if the only feeling, like, you talk about this, like, you're in the game till 35, and you're out. Where it's like, if you only get that feeling, because I get that feeling when I travel, I get that feeling when I listen to like fucking, I've been back on the vinyl track lately. Like, there's other places where I get that feeling from, and it's not just lifting weights. When I was a kid, absolutely. I used to, bro, what camera are we at? I used to own cutoff hoodies. Tell me there's a dumber article of clothing.
Yo, I was thinking about that the other day, dude.
Yeah. Where are you ever?
What?
The sleeveless hoodie, I don't get. The warmest part of your body? The middle of it.
I just nothing. And it's usually the people. I feel like fucking Bernie without the mittens right now. It's like, it's usually the dumbest people. It's like, you are literally the living embodiment of the article of clothing. You are as useless as that article of clothing. Yeah. But but at a certain point, it's like, look, man. And it's I don't want to bash people. Like,
no, I'm not either. Yeah, I feel you.
That they're only like, the feeling they get is all fitness. And it's like, that's cool. But for me, it's not that. And I know for you, it's definitely not that. And for you, it's not that. And it's just like, I think the cool thing about fashion is it allows you to express other parts of the things that give you that feeling, whatever that feeling is.
And you do again. It's back to you two. You both do it really well. You know, you're a little bit more minimalist, Jordan. Killian likes to express himself with like graphic tees, colorful sneakers. Me, it's like music, movies, and shit. So I guess you're right. It's colorful.
I feel like if I was Wes's build, like I would wear cool suits too. But like, Toronto's locked down. I can't leave my house, so I'm not wearing a suit. And also, like, these big dumb legs look so dumb in a suit.
We'll make it work.
I'm looking forward to seeing the evolution. Like the funny thing is,
the world opens up. I'm gonna drop a rack.
I'm stoked.
Many racks.
So stoked
on AOS.
Because I think the best part about this is that none of this is a real permutation of how we operate in the day-to-day life. Like we knew we were gonna do a video fashion podcast with our boy, and this is me. This is me. Like I'll rock these. You know what I did? I actually brought the Versace slippers just in case I wanted to make you throw up in your mouth. That's on him. That was a Christmas gift.
Hey, it's okay to have some little flex stuff like that.
But I think some of those things, like, so I always play the irony game. Whenever I buy like a designer brand, I buy it in the most ironic way because I'm the last person who should have it.
Like your fucking ESL your Saint Laurent wallet.
Yeah, or no, this is Alexander McQueen, because it's hilarious when I pull this money clip out. It's so dumb. It's the dumbest thing I could buy. And it's like, I bought those slippers because they're dumb.
Yeah. But it's also too like subverting expectations. I think is one of the best things. 100%. And when I still remember the first time I flew business. Because like you walk into a plane and then I just went right. I didn't know there was a left ever. Like Mike and Louis Shaw, keep your fucking head down. Don't say anything. Just turn right when you get on the plane. Sit in the middle seat next to the bathroom over the wing. That was my entire travel experience when I traveled. And I still remember the look on the flight attendant's face when I was like, not today. Wonka's got the ticket. He's going left because she posts up, right? She sets the pick and roll. She said in your broke ass 3XL t-shirt wearing sweatpant ass right down into the back of the wing. I was like, no. Not today. It's just the confusion. And it's the look I had on my face when homie shows up with the McQueen clip stacked to the tits with like 4 G's in cash. I was like, this guy should not, but he does. And he earned every last piece of it. So it's just, and it is the subtle flex. It's just like, I roll up in sweatpants and a fucking oversized t-shirt on all my flights. And I wait for it. The reaction of the person who goes, oh, like, where are you down this way? Because you're definitely going this way. It's like, excuse me, I'm gonna navigate myself to that side of the airplane real quick. And everyone's like, what's he doing up here? Is this like a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing? Like, how did this kid do that? But I don't know. I think it's just funny, and I think that's what fashion lets you do. Is it allows you to subvert people's expectations.
For sure, and it should be more accessible to everybody, man.
Agreed.
I know I could be talking shit about Cam and then all the homies who are super jack wearing fucking size small Gymshark leggings, but you know, if it's more accessible, you learn a little bit more, and you're probably a little bit more presentable. But not everyone wants to be that.
Well, that's where it starts. It's just the education side, right?
Yeah,
that's why people pay us.
Both industries is education.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what our biggest thing is. Like all we do is curate. Right, to kind of sample your vocabulary a bit. It's like there's a ton of stuff out there. It's like really what we're doing is we're just curating. Like you can go to an art gallery. It's like there's art everywhere. This art gallery is just like, this Rembrandt is pretty good, or this Monet is pretty good. I was like, oh, I'll pay someone to put all this stuff together for me, and it's like that's exactly what we do.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what you do.
Yeah. And I think you just save people from the awkwardness. Like we save people from the awkwardness of doing, like a novel exercise. You save people from the awkwardness of wearing novel clothes and. Culturally, I think it's the same thing as we talked about this on podcasting last week. It's the same thing as when people say Pulp Fiction is a great movie. Or like, that's my favorite movie. I immediately know behind that it's not.
It's not.
I always know that it's not, but it's the only like non-Avengers movie they've seen.
Are you a movie guy too, Jordan?
Not to the extent that this guy is.
West, man.
Me and him
no, I mean, I could go like word for word every Lethal Weapon, Die Hard.
Oh,
like,
those are important.
Those are still important. Those are still a genre.
French. I was in Australia. You were up some fucking German Christmas movie or some shit.
No, I was watching like Fitzcarraldo by Werner Herzog. Klaus Kinski.
At
like 2 a.m. I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm watching this German expressionist film. We got to call me back later.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think what we do and what I almost focus on is like when we teach what we teach to, and hopefully like, I don't know if empower is the right word, but like I basically tell people that, look, this is the lay of the land as I see it. And if you go out and say like basically stand with us and this is the stance on, and it's dumb shit. Like, I think a hamstring curl should be done like this, but it's giving people the confidence to basically know that, like, me and this kid got your back.
Yeah.
If someone fucking goes after you as a person because you say to do a hamstring this way, we know it might not be right, but it's not wrong enough to attack someone's character. So I'll put the ski mask on, I'll drive, and he'll go over the counter with a ball peen hammer and fuck someone up. So it's like giving someone the confidence, and like for you to go on a podcast, some people listen to this outside my mother, and like for you to just sit there bold face with a Tupac inspired Purple Rain and go, yeah, Cam Newton, trash. That's a power play.
It is.
That's the confidence.
And it's no disrespect. It's just me keeping it a stack. That's it, man.
But it's like you can back your shit up, right? And that's what we talk about all the time. It's like the reason people, I think, part of the reason people listen to us is like we'll do this stuff and we'll go and we'll teach some shit, and then we'll go into the gym next door and we'll fucking grab our body weight as a dumbbell and we'll start rowing it.
Yeah, I'm working after this.
Yeah, and that's like the proof of concept. That's the skin in the game, man. And I think, I only fuck with people because I have a few friends. Like my sister's a physician. So when I need real medical advice, I go to her, and she's usually in the hospital. I don't go to some WebMD thing. It's like there's no skin in the game.
Yeah.
Right. And so for you to sit there and be like, I mean, Cam is even as a vegan, man,
that's a big deal.
I mean, B's 6'5". He's probably 6'6", 6'7", 250. If you put some weight on him, he'd probably be an easy 270. And you're just gonna sit there and be like, trash. Like, and that's confidence because like you can back your shit up. Yeah, be like, look, man, I put you in this, I put you in this, I put you in this, and you're unimpeachable.
Shit, man. I'll pick that dude's brain for half an hour. I'll switch that whole shit up. Trust.
We'll make that happen.
Trust.
Cam, dude, definitely listen to the podcast.
Also, speaking of which, confidence-wise, I ain't the biggest guy in the gym, but because of y'all two, I be in that bitch strong, son.
That's all that matters, man. That's all that matters.
And if anyone ever talks shit, we'll roll up. Killian's got the ball peen hammer.
100%.
I got the ski mask. That's the play. We keep it in the truck. But no, dude, I appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks so much.
Long overdue.
Are you fucking kidding me, man? This is you guys, man. Again, admire y'all till the end of time, son. So
we got to do this in person.
Yeah, we got to have that. We got to make this a regular thing though, like Wes's do's and don'ts.
We can do some shit like that. I can break down outfits. I can whatever you want to do, man.
I think we should.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. We got the studio now. And I think it's something where I don't know, people, I don't want to say follow or lead, but everyone pays attention to maybe it's not the wrong things, but now might be the time. Now's the time, the world's opening up again. You've been wearing sweatpants inside, even pre-COVID. You got an excuse to spice it up a little bit. Because this was more like, this is Wes, this is our homie, this is what we do. Yeah. But like maybe like get you back on and do some tangibles like, all right, when the cutoffs come off and you got to go out on a date night, don't wear brown and black or white after Labor Day or whatever the fuck.
Happily to do so, and it's not going to be boring because, I don't
fuck with boring.
No, look at you. No, it's all good. Instagram, all that stuff. Where do people find you?
My Instagram is Westley Dimagiba. I know it's tough to spell, but
Lundy, show notes it.
Put in the description. You can find me there. Articles of Style is the brand that I work for. You can reach out to me via my social channel. Instagram is the only one I fuck with, so hit me up.
That's right.
I'm on
it. Do it. Stop looking like trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. We this is improvement. I'm a work in progress.
Now you're doing it up, man. From the first time we met till now, you're doing it up, brother.
Dude, that Thompson House photo. I was in olive green sweatpants, black Timbs, and a 3XL hoodie.
Big ass hoodie.
Yeah.
And you still towering over me. I was like,
yeah, we've come a long way. Long way to go. But I'll talk to you. I got some things coming up. I'm gonna need to get right.
Hit me up, man.
All right, brother.
Thanks so much, Wes.
Thanks so much, man. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon.
Peace, boys.